Smart Austin. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Phil Capriotti Sr. and Parker Capriotti of Empower Wealth and Tax. To our viewers at home, thank you for being with us today. We have a very special show, and you are going to be meeting the amazing Parker Capriotti. And I've had an opportunity to get to know him through the years. This is one very intelligent and very special young man with a very wonderful last name. So, Phil, how are you today?
Oh, couldn't be better. Thank you so much. Blessed.
Very
beautiful
blessed.
Thing. Beautiful
yes.
Thing.
And another beautiful thing is Parker's on the show. This is exciting.
Excited to be here.
Being
Yes.
able to share the set with you and my son Parker is just something that divine intervention has brought together. We're just going to go with that. You know, I talk with you folks about how our practice is generational and that my children will work with your children. Parker has had the benefit of really growing up one-on-one. Most of the other kids were already grown, and he kind of was like the latecomer. The last one was born in 1990, my daughter Dana.
Okay.
And then so Parker came along 2001. So, you know, over a decade later.
Wow.
Anyway, with that being said, I mean, I believe that he came out of his mother's womb a financial advisor. Okay, and when I say that, he was giving me financial advice at the age of,
I believe it was 12.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so I got to tell you the story. So at 12 years old, you know, we're watching, it was either Bloomberg or Fox Business, or maybe a combination of both, because I kind of flipped between both of them. And he said, Dad, he said, you really need to buy Bitcoin. Now we're going back 12, so this is over 12, 13 years ago. And I said, what?
Wow.
What's Bitcoin? He said, Dad, it's the future. You got to trust me on this. And he's talking to me just like this. Got to trust me on this. You got to buy Bitcoin. You got to take 10,000 and you got to buy Bitcoin. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay.
That's incredible.
So a short period of time later, a couple weeks later, he asked me, Dad, did you buy Bitcoin yet? I'm like, no, I'm not buying Bitcoin. No, I haven't bought Bitcoin. So at any rate, to humor him, I figured, okay, you know, we'll throw, I think it was 4,000 or 5,000, closer to $5,000 into Bitcoin. I figured, what could it hurt? And how much was a coin?
When I first told you, I believe it was around $3.30.
Wow.
$3.30 a coin.
Okay.
So anyway, to make a long story short, I knew right then and there that this kid was destined for good things.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So at any rate, with that being said, it continued, and he showed more and more interest. You know, where the other kids wanted to turn on cartoons, he'd sit next to me, you know, and watch Bloomberg and Fox Business and any other financial channel.
That's fantastic.
And this is really as a young adult and a young
Yes.
teenager. So when he graduated high school, you know, he had a full scholarship, graduated all A honor roll, all through elementary school, all through junior high, all through senior high. So I said, you know, it was COVID. So they were shutting down the schools. They were shutting everything down.
Yep.
And I was like, I want to see if we can get you situated in our home office.
Yes.
So I went and talked to Jarrett, my brother Jarrett Florence, and I said, Jarrett, I'd like a little favor. Well, what's up, Cap? And I told him, and sure enough, they gave him an entry-level position. That was over 3 years ago.
And I remember that. I remember that day. I remember meeting you, Parker, for the very first time, and I was just so impressed with you because you have such a quiet demeanor and you're so incredibly intelligent. Every time you speak, it's something that I'm just like, wow. So I'm so happy that you're following in your father's footsteps. And let me ask you, the past 3 years, what has that been like for you?
It's been a very fun experience. A lot of the time I've gotten to focus on trading and sitting down with Darren Levitt and just really getting a financial understanding for the stock market, what exactly we do as advisors and how we can help clients.
What do you love the most? I have to ask you because I'm sure people are wondering that. What is the best part of your job every single day?
Oh man, probably my favorite would be our morning meeting. We'll sit down around 6:15 and just have an hour powwow about what happened on the market overnight. And we cover U.S. markets, foreign markets, bonds, everything.
That's incredible. So 6:15 every morning. So you're an early riser, obviously, getting to the office early.
Yeah.
That is such a blessing.
That's a refreshing change from when he was in senior high.
Well, you know, that happens.
You know, and it's funny too, Darren Levitt is our chief investment strategist. And this gentleman, he's brilliant, a very good friend of mine. I've learned a lot from Darren myself over the last decade plus that I've known him. And he's taken Parker under his wing and really transferred a lot of knowledge. Parker was finished after 3 years, and he finished his 3-year internship a couple months ago. And Darren approached me and he said, Phil, he said, we're rolling out this new tax harvesting software. It's really going to be game changing.
Wow.
Parker's really sharp enough. I want to put him in it, and I want to see where he goes with this. I want to teach him this. I want him to take it back to Texas, specifically Austin. So with that being said, I was like, great.
Yeah, why not?
Sounds
That's
great.
Fantastic.
And so why don't you tell us a little bit about that, what you've learned and what you're bringing back with that?
It's really awesome and very crazy what we're doing here.
Okay.
A lot of the tools we're allowing some of our advisors to use and Empower Wealth is tax loss harvesting software.
Okay.
Essentially what we'll do is we'll go into a client's account, look at all their positions and the cost basis, and see where can we leverage accounts to sell off at the highs, buy at lows, and how can we really utilize this software to limit taxes for clients.
That's fantastic. And it took you how long to learn this? Probably like, what, 10 minutes because you're so brilliant? I mean,
No, I've been working on it for about 2 or 3 months now.
wow, that's incredible. And I'm sure your clients are seeing such amazing results because we talked about this before, Phil, about the importance of tax loss harvesting done every 2 weeks via software versus people maybe think about it once a year, twice a year, if that. So what kind of differences are you seeing?
Well, for now, we're mainly sticking with every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Although in the near future, we should be able to expand that to almost any time frame that would suit the client's needs.
That's fantastic. Wow.
Yep. And so it allows for a client to de-risk concentrated positions in their portfolio.
Okay.
As we talked about it in last week's show, it allows us to invest in new technologies, new investments, new companies that are not even existent in the client's taxable portfolios. It allows these taxable portfolios to do more than the chocolate vanilla, just reinvest interest and dividends into the existing companies. And so I believe that it's going to change the entire market. I'm glad that we're on the cut. It's not only cutting edge technology, but we are at the very beginning of this new technology, and we're rolling it out before anyone else is involved. And through the grace of the good Lord above, I have my youngest son actually learning it from the pros who designed it.
Well, Phil, we're going to take a very short commercial break, and Parker, but you have a very special message to the viewers at home. Please take it away.
Folks, you've been watching us for over 5 years. I would say pick up that phone and dial 888-818-6557. Come on in. Let's take a look at your portfolio. Let's meet the family, okay? I'd like to run a Morningstar report and a portfolio observation on your existing portfolio. Remember to utilize this tax-efficient tax loss harvesting software. When we move your taxable account, again, if it's with Fidelity or Schwab, it stays right where it is. It does not move. You're just changing advisors. We move it in kind, and then let the magic begin. So give us a call. Go to empowertaxbill.com. That's empowertaxbill.com, or click the QR code, or give us a call at 888-818-6557 and schedule a complimentary consultation for us to show you how we can help reduce your taxes in retirement and actually put your portfolio into the future by using this cutting-edge technology.
Phil, thank you so much. Parker, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, as you can clearly see, this is cutting-edge technology. It's time for you to take advantage of it. Call in today, 888-818-6557. Or if you're very interested and you need to get on the fast track, you can grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That takes you right to the landing page of Empower Wealth and Tax. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. I have so much more with Phil and Parker about tax loss harvesting and why it's important for you to learn more. Stay tuned.
You know, folks, planning for the future means more than just saving money. It's about making smart investment decisions that grow without taking on excessive risk. Yes, investment planning can be confusing and risky if you don't have the right guidance. At Empower Wealth and Tax, our investment planning professionals have assisted thousands of folks just like you simplify the process. We offer tailored strategies to help you make informed decisions and grow your wealth confidently. Don't let uncertainty hold you back. Schedule a complimentary consultation with us today and take the first step towards smart investing. Schedule today, and let's start building your investment portfolio together.
Welcome back to Retire Smart Austin. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Phil Capriotti Sr., as well as joined by Parker Capriotti of Empower Wealth and Tax. And we're talking all about tax loss harvesting and how having the right software in your corner can be advantageous, especially in your retirement years. What an amazing show that we're having today. And Parker, I love to have you on the show because you have such a fresh perspective, if you will. Not that you don't, Phil, but you know what I mean.
I'm the old guy.
Parker's younger. It's like my daughter. I learned so much from her. She's 26, and I'm not going to ask you your age, but I know you're young. And so I love that you come with such a fresh perspective. Talk a little bit about tax-efficient portfolio transitions, please, Parker. Take it away.
Thank you. So what we do with that is we'll actively monitor tax loss harvesting opportunities in a client's portfolio. This allows us to offset gains and maintain proper tax alignment within this portfolio. So a client who's held on to, let's say, Apple for the last 10, 15 years, who's a little hesitant to sell it because they're worried about the capital gains they might incur, we can find other positions where we could take a potential loss to offset those capital gains, allowing it to transition. And another thing we do is strategic withdrawals. That's really beneficial for clients, especially as you start taking RMDs.
Okay.
It allows you to strategically sell off certain positions to satisfy those RMDs while taking a minimal tax hit.
Wow. Okay. I love that. What about being also ongoing tax-aware management? Because when Phil, we've talked about this obviously so much in the past. You are so passionate about making sure that people understand being tax-aware is paramount to retirement success. How does that marry the software that Parker's talking about?
So this software can be used with many different various functions. So for instance, we can literally offset the taxes with respect to Roth conversions by accumulating losses within using the software. So literally, we can accumulate losses, harvest them, continue to harvest them, say through the first half of the year, and let's assume we've now have, I'm just going to use an arbitrary number, $100,000 in losses through the course of a 6 month. I can now take $100,000 of that IRA, convert it over to the Roth IRA, and have zero tax consequence with respect to that Roth conversion.
Wow.
So when we start to look at all that, because once Parker started talking to me about the software, and I started talking with Darren about it, my mind goes right to the balance sheet.
Of course, of course.
The first thing it does, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, wait a second, we can use this. Can you imagine doing Roth conversions and by taking the losses from your taxable account and not having to worry about paying 22 or 24% in actual dollars just by applying the losses onto your tax return? doing the Roth conversions and applying the losses as though you're applying tax dollars.
That's amazing.
I absolutely love it. And so we have not only just high expectations, I love the fact that this is all about new technology. It's about AI-driven type technology. It's being used with the largest of the largest firms, not to mention any names. I'm just happy to be a part of this firm, and I'm also happy to be a part of this company. Especially, I'm thrilled and blessed to be Parker's dad.
Yes, and I can see why.
I'm learning a lot from him.
Yes, I am too, which I love. Parker, let me ask you, why does tax management matter?
Well, it matters for a lot of reasons. One of them being that clients who are unaware of this could incur thousands and thousands of capital gains at the end of the year, completely throwing off their carefully prepped and planned retirement. So it's really important, especially when working with moderate accounts, you really want to fully plan ahead and make sure every step you're taking is in the client's benefit.
I couldn't have said that any better.
Acting in the client's best interest is really the definition of a true fiduciary.
Yes.
This just takes it to an entirely new level.
It does. The care is just amazing. And I love the fact, again, I'm reiterating, but you come into the office at 6:15 to regroup with everyone just to say, hey, what happened in the markets overnight and how can we better serve our clients? That is the fiduciary standard, Phil.
You know, one of the things that we provide for our clients or anyone that's come to either a workshop or comes into our office, we provide a newsletter, and we do it. It's an email newsletter. But of course, as fiduciaries, we don't sell names or information. It's designed to be educational. So many of the meetings that Parker is in each and every morning end up being in this newsletter. It's actually personally written by his boss, Darren Levitt, and it's circulated to our clients. So when we look at ABC happened in the market, and this is how we're going to react to that with respect to making changes in the portfolio. How many advisors do that for their clients?
It's true.
So it's all about the education process. It's all about helping them understand, realizing what we're doing, how we're acting in their best interest, and how we are the perfect financial advisory firm.
You really, truly are. When you think about it, how does it also benefit generational wealth planning? Is that a big one?
Yes, it is. Generational wealth planning, when taken with proper steps and precautions, it can be accumulated over a short amount of time to a moderate. You can accumulate a good general wealth within 10 to 15 years with careful tax-aware planning and special IRA attention to detail. When you do this tax loss harvesting, you're able to retain a lot of the income from your IRA that's generated that normally would be lost to taxes.
Wow. That is so very important, especially with so many clients that are really concerned about legacy planning.
Well, for many of our clients, they're not going to spend all of the resources they've saved, especially if they save them in IRA accounts. The question remains, how much do we want to contribute to charity? How many QCDs do we want to do? Which we want to organize that with the Roth conversion. Because what we don't spend, what I don't spend in a qualified account, and what my wife does not spend, is going to transfer to our kids, and they're going to have to be taxed. And they have to empty the account within 10 years. And if I had to start taking my RMDs before they inherit it, they now have to take RMDs. So it can really interfere with their tax bracket, taking these huge, 6-digit, high 5-digit RMDs when they're already making several $100,000 a year, because of their education and where they are.
Absolutely.
So by doing the Roth conversions and really putting it together in a tax-efficient retirement income plan, along with gift giving, charitable gift giving, and Roth conversions, not only does it create tax-free wealth for me, for my spouse, but it also allows us to transfer it to other generations so the tax man doesn't get a hold of it a second time.
That's perfect, Phil. Thank you so much. And Parker, thank you. To our viewers at home, we know that we're giving you a lot of information today about tax loss harvesting, and you're probably wondering, well, how do I get in touch with these gentlemen? What they're saying sounds so interesting and so applicable to where I am in my life today. Well, that number to call is 888-818-6557. Again, 888-818-6557. If you have more questions about the software that's used for tax loss harvesting, please don't miss the opportunity to call in today, book this complimentary consultation. And again, if you're trying to get on the fast track, if you want information immediately, it probably would benefit you even more to grab your smartphone, click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That takes you right to the landing page, of course, of Empower Wealth and Tax. You can schedule your time accordingly. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. I have so much more with Phil and Parker when we return.
Hello, my name is Phil Capriotti. You know, we have been helping folks like you create a tax-free retirement income plan for over 2 decades. I am a firm believer that if you've worked and paid taxes for the last 50 years, the one thing you shouldn't be burdened with is excessive taxation in retirement. At Empower Wealth and Tax, we specialize in helping you reach your desired retirement lifestyle with a tax-free and tax-efficient retirement income plan. With the probability of taxes going up significantly in the future, let's plan your retirement right. Call us today or select one of the options below and start empowering your retirement right now.
Welcome back to Retire Smart Austin. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Phil Capriotti Sr. and Parker Capriotti of Empower Wealth and Tax. And if you're just tuning in and just joining us, we've been talking about the power of tax loss harvesting, and even more so the software that's been incorporated that actually takes a look at everything every 2 weeks at this current time. It's amazing and it's very interesting. So thank you for being with us. Phil and Parker, I'm so thrilled and just honored to be with both of you today and to learn more about this incredible software. And Parker, I know that you're so passionate about education and sharing it with your clients. You probably have had some experiences recently with clients that have benefited from this. Phil?
Yeah, I certainly have. In fact, it's really, it's put an extra spring in my step, we'll say, with respect to getting up and not talking about the same old thing over and over again, although I can never get tired of talking about saving people money on their tax bill. We had a client that wanted to produce tax-free income, and we're going to call it a case study. And this client wanted to take income from her taxable portfolio, which was a little bit over $5 million. That was what it was, a taxable portfolio. It wasn't a Roth. It wasn't pre-tax. It was after tax.
Okay.
And she said, how much income can you provide to me in the form of tax-free income by using this tax loss harvesting software? So can you create a strategy using those software to provide me with tax-free income? So I'll ask Parker, can we create a strategy to provide tax-free or tax-efficient income using the software?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So one of the ways we can do that, using strategic withdrawals. So when you have a large portfolio like that, we can go into your legacy positions, find where we can make gains and losses, sell them off to essentially equate 0% tax or whatever the client's preferred tax budget is. And we can start to sell those off, and essentially we'll make distributions or any sort of wires, and we'll be able to
That's
provide
awesome.
provide them with tax-free income.
That's fantastic.
And that's exactly what we were able to do. And in this particular case, there were literally hundreds of thousands of dollars of tax loss harvesting, okay, that we could have provided to the client at a tax level of somewhere between 5 and 8%.
Wow.
So as opposed to paying 20% or 15% in long-term capital gains, we literally cut that tax bill in more than half. Now imagine doing that each and every year for several decades. How much additional wealth do you get to keep and pass on to your children and grandchildren with respect to the legacy planning piece?
That's true.
Of the estate plan.
That is true. So why aren't more advisors talking about tax loss harvesting? I know that's a tough question, but I have to know.
Education.
Okay.
Staying current. With one of the benefits of working with foundations and with Magellan is they're always on the cutting edge of the next best thing. They never stop. They never get complacent. They always want to forge forward to implement any strategy that's going to better our client's position, overall position, whether it be investments, whether it be reducing risk within a portfolio, whether it be providing tax-free income, whether it be doing executing Roth conversion strategies. It's all about the common good for our client. And quite frankly, a lot of investment advisors don't own their own firms. They work for an Eddie or a Merrill or the Fisherman or whoever. They're employees.
Okay.
They're there for a paycheck. We work for our clients, okay? We're the employees.
Yes.
We are employed by our clients. So we have to stay on the cutting edge. And not only that, I got to tell you, I get a special kick out of bringing this type of knowledge to the clients. It lets them realize exactly the type of advisory firm and the type of family that they're working with.
Sure. Well, only a minute and a half left of the show today, but Phil, what does it feel like for you to be sitting on set with your son?
I wish I would have bought more Bitcoin.
Well, there you have it.
It's wonderful. It's marvelous. I cannot wait to work with them side by side in our Horseshoe Bay and all of our other offices that are yet to come. And by the way, the Georgetown office is opening. We are now getting ready to open up Lakeway and soon to be Dripping Springs. So it looks like we have 2 new offices over the next 9 to 12 months in our future. And Parker will be a big part of their growth and development.
Most definitely he will. Parker, thank you so much for being on the show today. It's been such a pleasure to have you. And Phil, as always, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, the number to call in is 888-818-6557. And if you're curious to learn more about the software that helps you understand the market and tax loss harvesting, book your consultation today. 888-818-6557. Or to get on the fast track, click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. Be safe, be happy, most of all, be blessed. We'll see you back 1 week from today on Retire Smart Austin with Phil Capriotti Sr. Take care now. We will see you soon.